My name is Elena Dawson, and I am 29 years old, living in the quiet town of Crescent Falls. It is a picturesque place where everyone knows each other, and life seems to move at a slower pace. I have always had a penchant for creativity, working as a freelance graphic designer from the comfort of my small, vibrant studio at home. My days are often filled with the soft melodies of my favorite playlists, while I sketch designs that reflect my wild and optimistic spirit. But beneath this exterior of idyllic calmness, my heart is weighed down by a secret. Things took a sharp turn for the worse a few months ago when Vanessa Marsh, a former friend and now my nemesis, moved back to town. Vanessa was the kind of person who thrived on glamour and social standing, always putting others down to elevate her own image. She had a way of making you feel small and insignificant. She was the queen bee in high school, and a part of me always feared that she would one day return to reclaim her throne. Her sudden reappearance ignited a fierce competition between us, one that I was not prepared for. It began innocently enough but quickly escalated when she started stealing my clients. It was as if she were using my designs and marketing them as her own. She would send snarky messages, pretending to be supportive while secretly sabotaging my success, and it cut deeply. I was determined to rise above her antics while trying to maintain my professionalism. I spent countless nights building a brilliant portfolio, hoping to outshine her dominance with pure talent. I reached out to previous clients, reminding them of the exceptional work I had done. I even attended local business events aiming to expand my network, but Vanessa always seemed to be one step ahead. She had a knack for turning every situation into her advantage. My opportunities slipped through my fingers like sand. The more I fought to reclaim my footing, the more obstacles she launched my way. I felt defeated, almost as though I were trapped in a waiting game where she controlled the clock. One evening, after a particularly stressful day filled with rejected proposals and lost projects, I stumbled upon Vanessa's Instagram page. There she was, flaunting a huge project I had worked on that she had managed to snag behind my back. I felt like someone had knocked the wind out of me. She was parading my work as if it were her own, and the deep sting of betrayal felt like poison in my veins. That night was the lowest I had ever felt. I tossed and turned, my mind racing, replaying her duplicitous smile over and over again like a broken record. I was ready to give up, cursing the universe for allowing one person to hold so much power over my life. As the days turned into weeks, Vanessa's grasp tightened, and I could hardly breathe. But deep down in the pit of my soul, something sparked. I realized I had to do more than just sit back and let her win. I needed a plan. What if I could turn her tricks against her? It was time for my own brand of revenge. Inspired, I began working on a secret project that would showcase my unique skills and hint at my branding talents. I poured my heart and soul into a groundbreaking design project while working late into the night, determined to maximize my potential. I also leveraged social media strategically to attract potential clients without giving Vanessa any insight into my plans. The moment of reckoning came when I decided to host a local art and design exhibition. I carefully selected pieces that represented my journey and resilience, and most importantly, a few designs that directly referenced my conflict with Vanessa without naming her. A week before the event, I sent out invitations, inviting not just local organizations, but also potential clients Vanessa had been trying to impress. There was no hiding anymore. I was pouring out my artistic soul. The day of the exhibition arrived, and I could feel my heart racing as the doors opened. I had worked tirelessly for this moment. As the crowd filtered in, I introduced my work, explaining the stories behind each piece without shying away from the truth. Vanessa, of course, arrived looking stunning, flashes of envy shadowing her otherwise confident demeanor. I cleverly made references to the appropriation of my ideas without naming her directly, ensuring everyone in the room recognized what she had been up to without me saying a word. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement, and I could surmise that many of the guests were discussing my work and whispering about Vanessa's shady behavior. I felt a thrill run through me. But then, as I caught a glimpse of Vanessa from across the room, her expression shifted from smugness to irritation, and she stormed over to confront me. "You think you can just make up lies about me? You are nothing without my help," she spat venomously. For a moment, I felt fear grip my heart, but instead of cowering, I stood my ground. "I am who I am because I learned from the best. Your actions inspired me to rise above, I responded, my voice steady. Her eyes flashed with fury as she tried to retort, but the murmurs of the crowd enveloped us. The tension was palpable, and I could feel everyone watching, waiting for the outcome. The confrontation was electric, and the weight of all my struggles hung in the air. In an unexpected twist, it was not me who had the last word, but one of my former clients who stepped up. Elena is a true artist. I have witnessed her talent firsthand. Vanessa, you may have played the social game, but we all know who has the true vision. The crowd exploded in applause, and Vanessa's expression crumbled into defeat. The moment felt surreal, and I could hardly believe it as the audience rallied around me, whispering about my talent and such an incredible event I had created. In the end, my exhibition was not just a display of my artistry. It was a battleground where I fought back against the toxicity that had overshadowed me for so long. Vanessa left the event early, unable to face the reality of her actions, and I stood there, filled with a sense of vindication. There was no further need for revenge. I had already won my battle. My days of submission and insecurity faded away as more clients began reaching out to me, eager to collaborate. I had reclaimed my power, and Crescent Falls became a backdrop for my continued success. This journey transformed me. I learned that not only did I have the strength to stand up for myself, but I could also use my creativity to empower others who had faced similar challenges. Today, as I look around my studio filled with vibrant colors, I feel a sense of peace. I have turned my pain into purpose, and while Vanessa may have started this game, in the end, my story became one of resilience and triumph.